I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation.
Okay, I agree.
Are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU.
Okay.
Continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love, that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now.
Oh, shit.
Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, this, I'm going to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series.
Deep fucking cut, bro. What the fuck?
Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story.
I like that.
Out of this world, and I can't wait for people.
I like the people behind that.
Okay. Yeah. Next up is a big one, the true beginning of the DCU.
Oh, shit.
This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based
I feel like we heard this before.
It's almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops.
I like that.
Over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DC. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin.
Me too.
Assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning, sort of the Bat family in the DCU.
Finally,
up is a TV series called
Goddamn Time. Let's go.
I'm supposed to go.
I was waiting for this too. Perfect for
Earth from the future, who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically
such a weird character, though.
Story. Yeah. Imposter Syndrome on an HBO.
It makes sense to James Gunn.
One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way. So she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
Okay. I don't hate it.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I think that
Neither do I.
you can feel his excitement and passion for these projects, right? So like when you have somebody behind that feels the same way, almost like us, right? That shit is gonna kind of like be woven into the storytelling and just the overall like fandom, right? I think that I'm not really excited about the Supergirl. She was never like a favorite for me, regardless of gender, right? It's never something that resonated with me, and I just never liked the storytelling. Maybe because of the writing, right? But hey, listen, it may be good. I mean, it seems like they're putting a lot of chips in that. They said it's gonna be epic, you know. So I'm thinking that this is what the Flash is gonna lead into, right? Because we're gonna get her, and I'm sure they're gonna use the same actress. But everything else seems cool, man. And this is just 3 years of projects that's gonna be coming out after 2025, I believe. Which is, I mean, it's not bad. And I like the fact that he wants to use the same characters that voiced to do them live action, which is fucking great. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I'm glad that there was a presentation because doing Twitter feeds and shit like that, you're not gonna get that same kind of energy. The fact that we had something we can physically watch and hear from his own mouth makes me feel much better, and I'm really excited. And it makes sense because yes, Shazam is kind of like he said is in his own world, and mind you, you never got to see anybody from the DC. You heard things referenced, but that could be anything, right? Sure. The Batman that he's talking about may not be the Batman that we know. You know what I'm saying? Because we never got to see that Batman. We only saw the logo. We just assumed. Superman, we never got a face, right? So they can now play with this where Shazam can live in this new timeline because those characters we never seen in his films. With Blue Beetle, then that makes sense because now he's like, where does this Blue Beetle fit in anything? So now this hearing it from him is like, okay, now with the whole Flash and everything being reset,
wide open landscape now.
A wide open lens, yeah. So it's like, all right, this is good. And again, I'm sad that we are not continuing what was already established, but in a business sense, it wasn't working.
Right.
The fans were too divided. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people that's going to hate this idea. It's always going to be like a split. But I can tell you, I can assure you guys, assure the audience that, you know, I love my Snyderverse. As you can see, I have figures everywhere. But I'm okay with letting go and diving into something new, right? Because I don't hate James Gunn. I don't. I like his movies. I like Guardians. I like Slither. I like all those movies that he was attached to. It just coming from his line of work, where jokes are kind of like, for me, like unfunny, and I just hope that formula doesn't carry over to like characters that's not really in that field of being funny.
I feel like I can feel and understand where you're coming from on that aspect, being that he's writing Superman, right? So that's, you know, somebody that we're gonna all look at with very, very high attention and very close and particular dissection when it comes out, right? So I can understand that. But I feel like I made this statement before a while back when we first heard that he was hired for that position. And I feel like he basically just reiterated the same thing to me just now in that little presentation. I feel like with him announcing the people that he has on certain projects and things like that, and he even said it himself, they are very big on giving creators the chance to create and make the visions that they see fit. So I think that coming from Marvel and being under, not saying he studied directly under Feige, but being a part of that entire process, I'm sure he knows exactly what to do. And as far as giving creators that room to do what they need to do and see things the way that they see it, because that's the way that they're going to get diversity in this new universe that they're looking for. So I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think and I think it's gonna be very different, right? He's doing a lot of deep cut characters, right? Characters that we're not really familiar with. I'm not familiar with, you know, Creature Commandos, right? One thing he does well is he likes to take like the characters that people don't really know and make them enticing, right? Example, Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't really know too much about them. All I knew maybe out of the Guardians was probably Rocket, because he was like in games before that. And with the Suicide Squad, like, come on, like you bring a person like Polka Dot Man and Javelin on the big screen. That's a lot, right? That's a tough pitch to give execs. Like, hey, this is what I have. This person shoots out polka dots out of his fucking gauntlets, and it's like acid. You know what I mean? Like it's a tough pitch. So he does that well. And again, I really have no issues with this announcement, other than maybe the Superman. I have not issues. I'll take that back. I have more like reservations for that, because I feel like that could have been a Superman project. But mind you, we are getting a Superman project separately, which is Legacy. Which, if he's writing, there's gonna be a lot of heart. I just hope that the jokes are not like crazy. What about you, man? What are your thoughts based on the presentation you saw? Like everything. I need your insight on what you just saw.
All right. So as far as I feel like some of the things were predictable. I thought that, yeah, we were gonna get a Green Lantern Corps, like you said. It's something like we heard already before, right? But I did enjoy hearing a true detective vibe to it with those two. Again, that seems to be very exciting for me, and also the way that they are the universal connection as far as when it comes to the DC universe, universal cops, as far as how he labeled them. I think that is very cool how they're using that to introduce Earth, or I guess the baseline storylines, into whatever it is they're gonna bring into as the major threats later on with the Justice League combination when we get there. I love, and can't wait to see this Brave and Bold situation with Batman and Damian. I've been waiting for Damian. I know a lot of people have been waiting for Robin for forever. But just like James Gunn said, Damian is my favorite Robin. So I can't wait to see how that develops, see what actors they fill those roles with. So I'm excited about that.
I also like to, sorry to cut you off, but like the Brave and Bold.
No, go ahead.
The Brave and Bold kind of like, they also like tease up like Blue Beetle, because I remember Blue Beetle was in that run as well. So it makes sense. If you're gonna get like some kind of like collab between Batman and fucking Blue, that's gonna be crazy.
That'll be tight. That'll be tight, or even just Ray, Jaime and Damian together. You know what I'm saying? That'll be dope too. They could probably start building off of, honestly, because I've been waiting for this too. They could start building a Young Justice off of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of cool. What else? Oh, the Amanda Waller situation. I love that for Viola Davis. They have an actress of her caliber where, if Marvel is any indication, where now they're finally starting to show these people some type of award nominations and some type of love for what they're doing in this genre. Viola Davis is another one that can bring that type of viewership and that type of stature over to DC in that role. Being a Nick Fury type of character over there, she's gonna have her hands in a lot of pots, and I appreciate them giving a show. Hopefully, it really, really delves into her character, because they haven't done that, and she's a very, very cool character. That's connected to a lot of people in this universe. So if they do it right, I think that'll be a hit too. There's a lot of stuff there now. I'm really just hyped for those things mainly, and I'm happy for what they're talking as far as giving these people the creative leeway to start really developing their own type of movies, so that we can have some diversity. Not just diversity in whether it be gay, trans, or black and brown people, but let's start getting some Asian people in here. Let's start getting some real diversity of storytelling as far as families, like how we just had with Kamala Khan. Let's start getting into some different cultures and expand these lores that a lot of us know a lot of people are not into, and a lot of these things do connect to the current type of social environments that we are in. So yeah, they have a very, very bright future with this. I think they're gonna do very, very well for themselves. People gotta give them time. People gotta give them time.
Yeah, this is something that's not gonna be like overnight, right? This is gonna take, like
Right.
you said, time. It's gonna take a couple of years, right? We may have just the bare bones of what's happening, but like, you know, you have to kind of like see beyond what's said, right? Like, all right, cool. This is like things that can populate, right? We just live in this world where, you know, we need automatic, you know, immediate satisfaction, right? We can't.
Mm-hmm. It's a microwave society.
Yeah, it's like, I get it, man. Twitter right now is going crazy. Like, there's a hashtag fire James Gunn. People are just not happy with the news. I'm like, yo, bro, like, I get some reservations for some people, because mind you, you know, the Green Lantern story has been like said already. You know, we heard the story before, like Space Cops. We heard this story. This is something that was announced years ago. The only thing he added was giving it a true detective feel, right? That was like the most information we ever got. If it comes to fruition, thank God. It needs to happen. Like, they need to start, like, production needs to, like, they need to start finding directors, and just like, let's move to a new status for this project, because we've been waiting for a Green Lantern Corps for a very long time. You know what I mean? I feel like there was opportunities. I mean, there was, you know, Zack Snyder did shoot a Green Lantern scene for his movie that was initially supposed to be Green Lantern versus the Manhunter. But that ain't, you know, WB was like, chill, you can't use that character. So they just removed it and reshot the actor. Listen, it's a lot of information, but not a lot of information at the same time, because I'm going based on projects, and those projects being branched off to other things, right? There's a lot. But I'm looking forward to the Superman. Like, that's gonna be that's gonna be something that's a project that's like near and dear to my heart, like anything that's Superman related. And I think that I really hope that they can capture that same kind of magic, right? Like, it doesn't have to be like a Snyder-esque kind of feel. It just has to be a good story. And he said at the end, he said, good storytelling is king. And I really hope that is created for this character, because he needs it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Twitter's going crazy right now, bro. It's crazy. So as of right now, we got projects. We got Booster Gold coming out. That's gonna be live action. Swamp Thing also live action. this is gonna be a show or a movie. I'm not quite sure. I forgot if he said show or movie, but he just said live action. Paradise Lost, which is gonna be like a prequel to, to Wonder Woman. This is gonna be like pretty much ancestry, kind of like Game of Thrones. What he said. That sounds cool. So that means we still have hope for Wonder Woman to be like back included.
I think, to be honest with you, bro, I kind of forgot about that real quick, breezing through everything. I think that if they start with the gods, and then the war between the gods, and then the reason why the Amazonians got like displaced onto the eye, if they start from there and go through that, and like he said, it has that Game of Thrones, I think that could be a hit, bro. That's a great story to tell. If you really start from the beginning and don't just jump in the middle just to be telling stories, like.
Yeah, I mean this. I will prefer this to be a show. I would prefer this to be like.
Yeah.
Trying to cram 2 hours of the storytelling in 2 hours.
Yeah, no.
I'd rather have like if it's gonna be like Game of Thrones, then you need to give us like 10 episodes of straight like.
Right.
The war. We got The Authority. We have Green Lantern, Amanda Waller, Superman Legacy. That title, I don't know if that's gonna be like a working title or that's gonna be like straight up the name. That could mean a whole bunch of different things. All right. Again, we don't know really much information other than that's what was given. He gave us kind of like a shot.
Let me theorize real quick.
All right.
Being that you just said you don't know about that title, right? Because that's definitely is going to be something new. He's been talking about going like younger with the actors and stuff, right? What do you think about it being actually Jonathan Kent, like his son, or like it being Superboy? And that's why
they could do that.
Legacy. And then end up hooking up him and Damien as far as like the two sons. Maybe that could be where they're going towards the future. What do you think?
I mean, it makes sense because, Legacy is something that has skin in the game, right? Something that's already been established. Mm-hmm. So if you recasting someone and going younger and calling it Legacy, kind of like, it seems weird, right? So like having his kid take up the mantle, then maybe that'd be something that could possibly happen. And then again, if that happens, then that might bother me a little bit, right? Because then we're not really getting a Superman story. Because I really don't care about, to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of Superboy and shit like that. Like Jonathan, I'm not.
I'm not either.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the first thing to come in my head with that title.
Yeah, no, and I hope that, to be honest, there's many things that I hope you're right on. I just hope that you're wrong with this one. Yeah. Because,
no, I hear you.
Because
I hope I am too.
Then Superman's getting the fucking shit end of the stick again. But listen, again, you could make me learn. You could teach me to learn to love this character, right? You could teach me to love this character because I may not like this character, but you may bring something that I'm like, oh shit, this is cool, right? I'm not a person that's like not looking for change. Like if it's good, it's good. But it's almost like, all right, cool. So we're gonna get Superman, then it's gonna be about his kid, and then we get a Supergirl that's, what I mean, even though she has a comic book run called, Woman of Tomorrow, but that title's
that's later.
Yeah, that's later on. But before that, the original
you didn't get ours first.
Yeah, like Superman was the first with that title. Like that was. But again, this is all that's just said. This can change, or this can just make more sense when everything is in production. This is very raw. I'm still excited. I'm so excited, and I'm glad that stories like Blue Beetle and Flash are untouched. They probably like tweaked them out where it was like, hey, listen, we're going in this direction, and because it's a Flash movie, they can make those adjustments and pivot in a different direction where it does reset. Because they talked about it for a while that this movie was going to reset the DCU. They said this shit like 2 years ago. This movie was filmed and done a long time ago. It got delayed a whole year. So, listen, I'm a little wary, but I'm excited about what's happening. But I just hope that I hope that this is not just empty promises like we've been getting, and something that actually comes to fruition. Like, I want to see these projects. Like, now you got me excited, right? There's a list. I'm excited about maybe like four or five things out of that list. So let's get it, man. I mean, that's it. That's all I have to say. So, do you have anything else you want to add before we end this?
On Sunday, right?
Yeah, Flash
Sunday, right? So we getting that Flash trailer on Sunday, right?
Well, we got the Pro Bowl this Sunday, next Sunday, following Sunday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're gonna get the first Flash trailer, and it's gonna be 2 minutes and 30 seconds or some shit like that. It's gonna be a long trailer.
Okay, that's good. You deserve that. We've been waiting for it.
Yeah, because the footage we got before that was like a sizzle reel. It was not like actual, like, it was just like stock footage of things that were recorded, and it was no VFX like that. So this is gonna be actual VFX finished product. So we're gonna get like a storyline. So that's gonna be dope. I can't wait for that. But that's coming. That's coming.
All that extra stuff aside, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I've been excited for this movie for a while. Like, I've been excited to see Michael Keaton come back for a while, and I'm not one of those people that really hated Ezra as the Flash in these Snyderverse movies. You know what I'm saying?
I did not hate him.
I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I echo the same sentiment. I really have no issues with Ezra Miller. I think he's a really good actor. I think that there was a lot of things were said and untrue things and stuff that were true that kind of got all jumbled up and just made him look like a piece of shit, which he probably is. Who knows? I don't know this man personally, but I can't sit here and say from where I'm sitting on the internet, saying about another person I don't know about. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, it's unfair for him because I don't know him.
But
yeah. Let's see, brother. We here. We Untitled Live. We're gonna talk about this stuff throughout the months that leads into these new projects. So we're gonna be here for that. Do you have anything else you want to add before we lock up?
Not really. Just for everybody that's gonna end up watching this, we got these clips that are getting set online now. We're breaking down the live sessions every week now. Still live every Friday, 10 p.m. So make sure y'all subscribe. I'm seeing a lot of new people liking, adding on to the subscriber list. So that's what's up, man. Keep it coming. We love it. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. We catch y'all Friday. Peace out.